శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, let us examine what is meditation in action and what is the action. You see, action means something which is external to you, and meditation means something which is internal to you. Remember, the religion is born out of a choiceless awareness. You see, someone is having so much depth in any field or in any area of knowledge or skill, etc. But that depth has no manifestation. Then what is the point in having that depth? For example, a poet is there, is an excellent poet, so much depth, but he does not sing even a song. Then what is the point? A rich man is there, stinking wealth, but he doesn't share his wealth for any social cause. Then what is the point in having such wealth? A painter is there, a great painter, so much depth he has in painting, but he doesn't have any painting. Then what is the point in having so much skill and depth in that painting? So, wise men say that half truth is more dangerous than untruth. A partial truth is more harmful than untruth, because in either of the above cases, some element of truth is there in it, but the truth is not complete. That is why it is more dangerous. In this regard, Isha Upanishad says that action is, the truth is more than action. The truth is other than meditation. That is what the Isha Upanishad says. So, what is the point in the action which is not meditative? I mean to say, there should be a synthesis between action and meditation to derive the more as emphasized in the Upanishad mentioned above. The truth is more than action, the truth is other than meditation, means unless it is more than action, that is, unless that more is achieved or realized, you will not be having the complete truth. So, it is like this: when you dance when you dance meditatively, that dance becomes divine, it acquires a divine quality, because when you dance meditatively with thoughtlessness and silence, some kind of divinity manifests in your dance. So, such dance becomes a divine dance, because when you do it meditatively, it is something like this: the God is dancing through you. It means the ego disappears, the dancer disappears, but the dance continues. In that dance only divinity manifests. It is a divine dance, free of ego. There used to be one dancer in Germany, is a worldwide dancer, famous dancer, called Nijinsky. So, when he dances on the stage in any performance, he used to take such huge leaps of dance, and he beyond it is that leap is beyond the gravitation of the earth. So, he used to leap to such high levels, and when he falls to the stage from that highest leap which he has taken, he falls, he used to fall like a feather and touches the earth, I mean the stage. So, amazed at his performance, people have asked him, how could he do such kind of big leaps and then falling again like a feather without getting any kind of injuries. Then he used to tell them that I also do not know. I also used to observe myself amazingly in taking such huge leaps and again touching the ground, falling like a feather. It means that ego in him as dancer completely disappeared. Only the divinity has performed that kind of a performance. So, such is the power of the manifestation of divinity in the actions of such kind of people. So, in any performance, when the performer disappears, then it becomes a divine performance. So, the action, whatever the actions in the world, need not be renounced. The actions, every action has to be transformed. It has to be, action has to be transformed. Action need not be renounced. So the transformation of the action is possible only through meditative action. When you perform any action meditatively, then it becomes divine. So, every action in the world can become divine when it is performed with that kind of a meditative spirit inherently. So, the all actions need not be renounced in the world, but only have to be transformed meditatively to attain a divine quality to such actions. See, the Upanishads are not written by the masters. They are the spoken words of the masters noted down by the disciples. The notings of the disciples of the realized masters are Upanishads. So, the masters have believed only in spoken words, because the spoken words comes from their innermost core and being. That's why the presence of the masters is very precious. When you listen to the spoken word of a master than reading that word in a book. It is, when you listen, it is more than a word. When you listen to the master, it is more than a word. So, before the disciple listens to the words, spoken words of the master, when the disciple has got such a longing and quest to know the truth, the master has already reached the disciple. So, the disciple is overflowing with the presence of the master before he has reached to the listening of the spoken words of the master. So, the spoken word has a lively quality to it as it comes directly from the inner core and being of the master. So, when the disciple listens to the master, the words spoken by the master appears to be very ordinary. But when the master speaks and when the disciple listens to the words of the master, there is a link between the master and disciple, and there establishes a communion between the master and disciple, and the words spoken by the master and listened by the disciple are the words which carry something of beyond, because they become, when the disciple listens to the master, they become something part of the disciple. It has got such words, spoken words have got such effect on the being of the disciple. It dispels those words, those spoken words, and listened by the disciple. They dispel the ignorance, the age-old ignorance of the disciple. Just like a spark of fire burns the faggot of the woods. So, such is the power, such is the quality, the divine quality of the outpourings of the master when listened by a disciple. So, it is like the presence of the master. It is like a man passes through a flower garden, when he passes through a flower garden, he doesn't touch even a single flower. But when he reaches home, his whole body and being is full of fragrance. His whole being emanates the fragrance of the flowers of the garden. The disciple is filled with the essence of the fragrance of the teachings or the outpourings of the Master, and his whole being emanates only that fragrance. To the others in the home. So, such is the divine presence of the Master. So, in Jainism, they call it a Buddha field. A Buddha field. What is that Buddha field? See, we are acquainted with the word atmosphere. That means the air that surrounds you is called atmosphere. That's what it means. But Chardin, an eminent scientist who was a geologist, has coined a beautiful word for the presence of the Master, that is noosphere. Noosphere means it is the presence of the Master. It is the vibes, the feelings, the thoughts of the divine presence of the Master. When you are in the presence of the Master, his vibes, his feelings, and unknowingly, and the gestures of the Master, everything which contains the presence of the Master reflects in the disciple or in the seeker who is open. When the disciple is, or the seeker is open, when he is open and when he is in the presence of the Master, he experiences a strange feelings of the vibes of the Master. Such is precious the presence of the Master. So, Jainas, they have coined and they have come after so much research to the conclusion that the presence of the Master, the presence of the enlightened being is called Buddha field. So, when someone who is very open can experience that divine presence in him, if he is open, and that Buddha field spreads to a radius of 25 kilometers. When an enlightened being is there, that center, that fragrance of that center spreads to a radius of 25 kilometers. That's what they have made some experiments and concluded to that extent. So, the atmosphere, the Chodron has coined the word noosphere. He has coined that word specifically to describe the effect of the presence of an enlightened being or a master. So, a true seeker, a true disciple is one who is indulged in both action and meditation. He is a true seeker is just like a lotus flower. A lotus flower, it arises from a lake, in a lake, from dirty mud. But it is, though it arises from the dirty mud, that beautiful lotus flower in a lake, just like a lotus flower, the true seeker is in the world, but is not of the world, is something beyond it. He lives both in action, and his every action is filled with meditation. That is a true seeker and disciple, representing both action and meditation in his life. That is the life of a true seeker. So, thank you.